Day number 20 is in the books, and guess what? Amber Heard's legal team decided to leak a little bit of a rumor over the weekend, and they fucking lied. You know how I know they lied? Well, because Johnny Depp didn't end up taking the stand. And that report came directly from a leak from within Amber Heard's legal team. Now, why the fuck would they do that? Did they realize that the three expert witnesses that were on the stand were taking too much time? And now at the end of the day, they had just a shade over 4 hours. Okay, they ate up half of their remaining time. And what does that really mean at the end of the day? Well, once they run out of time, no longer call any witnesses. Okay, you'd expect, okay, they're probably going to have a little bit more because they didn't rest their case today, but then they're also going to have to manage the rest of that time through the rest of the fucking week, okay? And they were long-winded on their witnesses, and really, it didn't move anybody, because if you're watching this stuff, it is vastly different than what's being reported in the media. And then that circles back to the fact that they leaked out that we're going to be calling Johnny Depp, so everybody should be paying attention to everything that we're doing today. So what did they do with their time in court today? Well, they had a hand doctor out there say that, it's clearly Johnny Depp did not have his finger severed in Australia because of anything that Amber Heard did. He said multiple times that he cut off his own finger, and then run it through with another specialist who would present another expert who would present more cumulative evidence that Amber Heard was just a beaten wife, and she had battered wife syndrome, a brand new diagnosis, even though he was only there, okay, and he only looked at some of the records, but came up with a diagnosis that Johnny Depp is clearly a narcissistic person because he said so, and he's gone back to the future in order to prove that. That joke will make a little bit more sense once we see a picture of that fucking bizarre looking motherfucker who combs his hair with a brick, gets it styled at the same barber that Bernie Sanders has. It was a catastrophic disaster once again for the Heard team, okay? Mostly because cross-examination went extremely well, as opposed to that long-winded, unfactually, and quite frankly, ill-informed expert testimony that was presented today. But here's the statement that came out, as you can see there, at 1:07 p.m. So after you got the hand surgeon that came up there, okay, who's got the best name literally ever. The fact that was the first person that they called, really, okay. And then you had the psychologist or psychiatrist. We'll get into some of his credentials, which he got voir dired on, okay, because he presents himself as being an IPV specialist, and I know all this stuff when it comes to all of this nonsense, okay. And then he got voir dired, and it's like, you've not actually wrote anything specifically about intimate partner violence, have you? No, actually, I've done a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like, can you quantify any of it? No. Okay, cool, great, wonderful, fantastic, great. But they presented all of that stuff to begin with, and then it just seemed like they were going to be going long. It's like, okay, are you going to close your case with Johnny Depp? No. And then they leaked the statement, even though both of the legal teams are not supposed to be talking to the media. So this poor girl, okay, Shanley Painter, okay, the cute dress girl, okay, she is being used like a sock puppet, okay, she's being used as a mouthpiece for both legal teams. We'll get into some more of her statements because we've got kind of a roadmap of how the rest of the week is going to go, okay, because there's going to be maybe one more witness, or maybe they'll just try to theorize and strategize for the rest of the week. This is Heard's team, okay, I'll try to figure out if we need to call anybody, because again, they haven't really put down on the paper any, links between the their words, defamatory statements of Adam Waldman and that of Johnny Depp, other than Elaine Bredehoft and that stupid ditzy bitch who has no fucking grasp on reality, that was the entertainment expert at the end of the day, was saying, the Depp Waldman statements, but wouldn't say what those statements are. But the only way that they can link Depp to the statements of Adam Waldman is by just calling them the Depp Waldman statements. That's not true. And that was the first thing that was attacked by Wayne Dennison, the guy who did 2 of the 3 cross-examinations today. He's got a style when it comes to doing cross that's it's different than everybody else, okay, on the Depp side of the aisle. He lets the experts, he lets whoever's up there testifying, okay, Well, and for Amber Heard's side, it's only been experts at this point, but he just gives them enough rope, okay? He lets them spin a web, and he's just, yep, no, okay, cool, you guys just go and do your thing. And then whenever he takes up on the stand, then he just starts to twist it and twist it and twist it around them. And then he puts a cinder block to the end of it, and he throws it into the ocean. He starts asking his questions, and then he'll get to a point where it just rips them off the dock and throws them and lands them directly at the bottom of the fucking lake. It's perfect. It's wonderful. It's fantastic, especially for his auditory style, because he's very deliberate. You know what? Okay, he doesn't really have that fast talking, slick, coastal lawyer attitude. He's more of a, charming, folksy lawyer. He's a partner at a firm, the firm that he practices at, okay? So he's no fucking idiot. Even though, you know what, you could kind of forgive him for putting on that veneer, okay? He knows exactly what he's talking about, okay? And he has these little vocal tics that it's appreciative. It's especially a stark contrast with the retarded wrecking ball that is the crazy cat lady, who that bitch cannot for the life of her fucking not ask a leading question, okay? And she cannot fight for an objection. I don't know what the sidebars sound like, but I would just have a morbid curiosity there that I don't think her speaking objections, when it's just the judge and the opposing counsel, I don't think it's any better. But if this comes from the legal team of Amber Heard, I think we know that it's more of a holistic approach, that these people are rather stupid and slimy, and at this point they're just crafting their case. They're doing all of this stuff knowing that they need to play to the media, because the media, and even though the one video that I did over the weekend recounting the Vox and the Vogue and the New York Post article, that was mostly sarcastic. But there are so many more hit pieces coming out on that. And we're going to run down one of the minute-to-minute updates, okay, here when we do the replay of the day's events. It's going to show you that there's a media shift right now. Public perception, people who are actually watching and following along with the trial, know that Amber Heard is thoroughly losing this, okay? And then it's especially just driven by the fact that they're pulling some stuff that has been written about in some hit pieces over the weekend. They know what's going on in the public perception. They are crafting the narrative in the mass media. The fact that they're focusing so much on the social media reaction to this stuff, they're trying to angle this, because is the court case going to go in their direction? Tough to say. Ultimately, there's been a lot of talk that, Johnny Depp doesn't have to win this case in order to ultimately win his desired outcome, because he's already won in the court of public opinion. That's retarded, okay? I'm just going to come out and say it, okay? If he wins this court case, which he absolutely should, now it's got to the point of a legal standard that they cannot prove defamation, okay? Heard's side, and in fact, Depp can. That was further crystallized based on a couple of the experts, or actually all of the experts that were brought up by Heard today, that his case is far fucking stronger, okay? And juries are a weird creature, okay? But some of the reports from inside the courtroom just say that everybody's kind of checked out, and the people who aren't checked out are closely paying attention to what the Depp counsel are doing, as opposed to anything that Heard's side is doing, okay? And that's everybody. That is universal at this point. Everybody's either checked out, nodding off, writing notes, or smiling at Depp's counsel, as opposed to the past few weeks where they've either been stone-faced or seemingly neutral. They've lost, so they got to shift the narrative on this one. That's why this statement, and them pulling the carpet all of a sudden out of calling Depp, they wanted eyes on today. That's why they did all of that recap. Okay, here are the highlights. Here's what everybody is talking about. Amber Heard actually caused the injury to the finger. Great. Hit that first thing, okay? And then talk about all of the litany of problems, okay? Reinforce all of the drug problems that Johnny Depp has. Oh, he's actually the one who's crazy, and he was the one who did all the abuse, and this expert, he reviewed all of the audio and video, and the only thing that was documented is Johnny Depp was the one who was violent because he wrote messages on lampshades, and he was mean to a couple of cupboards. Okay, so here's the statement to the media. Even though this wasn't her first tweet on this, she was just quoting what she heard from the Amber Heard team. Calling Depp back to the stand would be as relevant to us as a bicycle to a fish. Everything Depp has testified to up to this point has been irrelevant to the heart of this case. Really? And there is no reason to believe it would be any different now. Then why did you leak that you would be calling Johnny Depp on Monday? Okay, because you wanted eyes on this, okay? Because you knew that you were going to call all of these witnesses. Why did you play days and days of video depositions only to completely front load this week, okay, the end of your case with, frankly, cumulative evidence at this point, a cumulative testimony that Johnny Depp's the bad man and he's the one with the real psychological problems, even though you didn't actually see him any time and you were just reviewing some of the materials. But that was a common thread through all of this. Yeah, let's get into this. First things first, okay, literally, okay, this was a hand surgeon, okay, he practices in North Carolina, Duke University, he's got all of the qualifications, and the motherfucker's charging $1,000 an hour, as far as I've heard, okay, listening to the different experts that are up there on both sides, he is far and away the most expensive, and he also gets $5,000 for testifying, and he was up there for about an hour and a half, and at least he got properly compensated for the absolute raping that he got from Camille Vasquez on Cross, because, yeah, even from the outset, his testimony was hot garbage, okay, because he was told, okay, what did he review in this case? Well, obviously, he's an orthopedic hand surgeon, so what was he going to be talking about? Well, he was going to be talking about Johnny Depp missing a digit in Australia and how it was definitely a crushing injury, okay, but it wasn't caused by a vodka bottle, because as he believes, the hand of Johnny Depp was placed flat on the bar, okay, which is just wrong, okay. His testimony, Depp's testimony, is that his fingers were hanging over the edge of the bar. And then also the good doc, okay, oh, I forgot his name after all. It's Dr. Richard Salter Moore. The motherfucker is Salty Dick Moore, and he does hand jobs for a living. You can't make this shit up, okay? Today was a $5,000 hand job, and he got the end result square between the cheeks. But no, he was basing all of his testimonies that, oh, this crushing injury couldn't have possibly happened because of a broken bottom, or a broken bottle being thrown at him, because as Ben Rottenborn, he was the guy who was doing the direct examination of this expert. Oh, the vodka bottle, it just exploded. It just shattered into 1,000 million bajillion pieces. I don't know about you guys, but if you've dropped any glass that's out there, whether it be a beer bottle or just a simple water glass, okay, it doesn't explode, okay? That's just retarded. It breaks into large fragments. It breaks into some small fragments, okay? And if you're hurling it with a certain velocity, okay, you're still going to have a different sized fragments come off of the broken glass, okay? It's not all going to be uniform. It's not going to explode, especially if it's a rather large bottle, a handle of vodka, okay? I don't even know how big that is. I don't drink or anything like that, okay? But a big bottle being thrown, which also Dick Moore here thought that the bottle, okay, his understanding, I reviewed some pictures and they didn't find any glass shards that were there. Motherfucker, it was scraped out with a wire brush. Johnny's testimony, and then also corresponds with some of the medical documents there from Australia. It was scrubbed out and sterilized, okay, immediately, so no infections, which eventually did end up happening. Anyways, he did get MRSA on that. It was scrubbed out and cleaned with a wire brush, so of course, and he's like, no, well, there was no injury to the fingernail, so that means that it couldn't have just came down as the hand was on a flat surface with the palmar side down, and the bottle just came flat right down, dropped from a 90-degree angle, okay? So of course you would have had damage to the fingernail if that was the case. It was unbelievable testimony. It's like, no, dude, you don't know what the fuck actually happened. It's like he says here, jurors were shown the slightly graphic photo, slightly graphic. You can see the fucking bone in it, but they have it blurred out here. Okay, of Depp's mangled and bloody finger, showing a chunk of his fingertip missing out, but his fingernail looking intact. Looking intact. You remember, okay? Richard Moore, the orthopedic surgeon, told the court that based on the photo, Depp's severed finger, his nail was not injured, which would have happened had a bottle been thrown at it and struck the finger from the top as the actor was resting his hand on a countertop. which it's like, okay, he had his hand hanging over, okay, had his hand hanging over on the bar, you know, just kind of like resting on the bar, okay, and then it came in from the fucking side, okay, he had no other injuries to no other fingers. And then here, also, one of his other pieces of odd testimony, well, normally if you would have had a bottle coming at it, you would have tried to move or something. Johnny's also been consistent on this, okay? Amber had a history of throwing things at him, and he was also saying that the first bottle of vodka just whizzed by his head, didn't even move because it's such a common occurrence, okay? And that normally, okay, it sounds like, okay, we don't have any counter evidence to this, so I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, recitate what I've been hearing in court, okay? She'd have a history of throwing things at him, not necessarily hitting them all the time, the mineral spirits on the island being the notable exception, okay? She'd throw things in his general direction, and they would normally miss. But I guess she's never thrown anything, you know, of that size, the handle of vodka before, so he didn't even bother moving because he just figured that it would also just fucking whiz by. She was just trying to, you know, raise the emotion of the situation, try to create a certain tone and tenor of events. But yeah, again, Rottenborn was characterizing this as, oh, the vodka bottle just exploded. It was like, it's a big fucking bottle being thrown from about 7 to 10 feet away, okay, by a woman who was weighing, what, $110 at the time, who was more than likely drunk and could have been on MDMA of some form or fashion. So do you think that she's picking it up and fucking hurling it like she's Randy fucking Johnson? I don't think so, okay? And again, he was given bad information, and Camille took advantage of that. Johnny Depp's attorney, Camille Vasquez, sought to undermine Dr. Richard Moore's testimony concerning his assessment of the actor's mangled finger. As you can see here, take a look at these headlines, okay, when we get to the pro-Depp stuff, okay? Hand surgeon expert grilled on cross-examination. On his lies, on his fucking lies. The lawyer argued that Moore, who never treated Depp or examined his hand in person, all he seen was pictures and some medical records, but not like the pertinent ones. Oh, he told Dr. Kipper that he cut his finger off, which is the way that you would describe any fucking injury, okay? If you broke a bone, okay, you broke your leg over the summer. Why is your leg in a cast? I broke my leg. It's the same way that he was talking to his doctor. Oh, what happened to your hand? I cut my finger off. Exactly, okay? Didn't also want to, you know, hey, look over the notes where he said that Amber threw a vodka bottle at him, which is also in Dr. Kipper's notes, but don't worry about that. Lawyer argued that Moore, who never treated Depp or examined his hand in person, was not in the position to definitively rule out that a hurled vodka bottle caused his injury. Yeah, because he said that it was a crush injury. It's like, okay, cool. What exactly is a crush injury? Well, a crush injury is when a hard surface is struck by another hard surface, and the intermediary is, there you go, you got it, crushed, which is absolutely consistent with any of the x-rays that's there. But again, yeah, could you rule out that it's a vodka bottle? No, but it's probably an accordion door, because that's going to create the same amount of injury, and you know it also correspond with the other evidence that's around there of, you know, broken bottles, and exactly where his finger was recovered in tissue, it was recovered right there, by the way. There's a shard of a broken bottle, not necessarily saying it's that one. But it's funny, right? How absolutely light they are on that devastating cross. Camille just walked him through everything, okay? You were told, okay? You didn't see any notes, you didn't see anything else. You listened to some video depositions of Johnny Depp, but you didn't hear the story that he told, did you? You were told that the bottle hit directly, and you were basing your expert testimony that couldn't have happened that way with a flat hand on a flat surface and a bottle dropped directly on it, and that the injuries didn't line up with that. You were lied to, and you might be providing your expert witness on this, or your expert witness testimony on this, but you were given bad information, my dude. Sucks to suck. Good on you. Hopefully you provided a lot of research to this and you can capitalize on that good bank that you're charging. Then we got into this crazy motherfucker. Remember what I said, Christopher Lloyd, okay, Doc Brown, Dr. Spiegel, right? He was there. He's a psychiatrist, okay, from Norfolk, Virginia, okay? He's reviewed all the literature that's out there, even though he hasn't written on anything specifically, and he knows for certain, okay, without ever seeing Johnny Depp, which is apparently an affront against them, even though Johnny Depp's mental state is not at the center of this case at all whatsoever, so it's just a little bit preposterous that he was so butthurt over the fact that, oh, well, I asked to see him on 2 different occasions, and he didn't want to show up. Well, actually, it was Amber Heard's team that went before the court in order to try to get it mandated twice over, and both times they were BTFO'd by the court, so Depp never had to go to the clinic to get checked out by this fucking quack. But he knew, based on all the testimony that he's seen, that Depp has a consistent behavior of abusing partners. What do you mean by that? Well, he has substance abuse problems. Severe substance abuse problems. Okay, cool. We'll take that at face value. So what does that mean? If you have severe substance abuse issues, that means you're going to beat your partner. Sorry, what? Excuse me? Dr. David Spiegel. He looks like a Spiegel, doesn't he? Psychiatrist from Norfolk, Virginia, said that he reviewed much of the literature. I reviewed some stuff concerning the case and found Depp's behavior consistent with someone who abuses drugs and alcohol as well. We do know he needed his lines fed to him for his movies. Oh, do we? Or do we also know, and that Mr. Wayne Dennison also told him, okay, that in fact, all of his lines were not given to Johnny Depp, because he was referencing Pirates, okay? Pirates 5, okay? Some testimony to him wearing an earpiece for the film, okay? And that he was given some lines. But he was told, okay? He was told, didn't get any clarification. It's not in evidence at all that he was given every single one of his lines for Pirates through his earpiece. That's what he based his diagnosis, that Johnny Depp, okay, has cognitive decline, okay? He suffers from the side effects of years and years of chronic narcotic abuse, okay? His cognitive decline is off the charts because he couldn't remember 3 words 5 minutes after on one test, okay? One test that tests for memory, and that's the only test out of 30 points, okay? Out of 30 points, that's the only part of the test that, mentions for memory. Oh, but that's important. It's a fucking... If that's what psychiatry is, it's like those old Facebook quizzes that tell you what your favorite anime character, or which anime character you best resemble. It's retarded, okay? Again, this is a guy given a diagnosis from somebody across the street, and it's like, oh, that dog looks like it's limping. Probably has a nail through its left paw. That's essentially what this motherfucker was doing, and getting paid... Don't know. He was never asked because he was far too fucking combative. And then apparently, okay, from multiple people that were in the courtroom, it didn't play well for the jury, okay? He just came off as just a ranting, raving lunatic. We all know that he needed his lines fed through him, okay, through an earpiece. He actually confessed he did a movie entirely wasted. Did he? Or did you just make this up, okay? And again, also making these assertions with him never, ever getting a baseline. Oh, well, I watched Pirates movies. Sorry, what? You got a baseline for Johnny Depp, okay? Your comparative analysis was based on some interviews and watching some of his movies. Okay. The shrink said you could tell Depp's processing speed and think rate was often down watching him play Captain Jack Sparrow. Johnny Depp's processing capabilities were down because he watched Pirates. This is what we got first thing in the morning. Just fucking fantastic, right? Oh, and can I just do a brief fashion update? Johnny, once again, 3-piece suit, great tie, great color choices, okay, looking fucking suave and debonair. Outside of the first couple of days, he had his hair down. It's always just been back in a ponytail. Very consistent look. And then I say, we got Colonel Sanders here. What the fuck is that look? Who advised who advised this? I know you fired your PR team like halfway through the trial. Did you also fire your fucking fashion team as well? That is a dude cut jacket, okay? But at least you don't have hilariously wide lapels, but I've never seen a woman unironically wear that, okay, outside of the confines of Halloween. Honestly, if you would have shown up with a bucket and then put it on your head, it would have been an improvement, but just fucking wear your hair down once, for Christ's sakes, you weirdo. But yeah, no, this is where all the sound bites come from, okay? This was cross-examination, and it was hilarious, and it made this guy look like a complete, utter fucking quack, okay? And he was going through quite a bit of Gatorade, if I do say so myself. I'm gonna run this back here, because it was hilarious. Anyways, expert witness Dr. David Spiegel sparred with Johnny Depp's lawyer, Wayne Dennison, with his nice, kind of charming faux southern drawl. All right, okay. During his cross-examination, the heated back and forth often elicited laughs from the Pirates of the Caribbean star. Yeah, because it was so fucking absurd, because, again, this is another thing that is common to Amber Heard's team and its extended team of witnesses as well. They've hired some of the most unlikable people that you will ever come across. Dr. Karen to begin with, okay? The only one who was passable was the numbers dude who looked at some of the hashtags, okay? Like, he was a boy genius, okay? Who went through college at 14 years old, so he's kind of, like, socially retarded. But just the rest of them are unlikable cretins who were just combative and weird or made of fluff, like Salty Dick there from First Thing in the Morning. He didn't put up much of a fight to young Mike Tyson's cross-examination. It was like 10 minutes and Camille just beat the fuck out of him. Anyways, the psychologist called by Heard's team and testified that Depp's alleged use of earpiece to feed him lines while filming could be a sign of cognitive decline or impairment from substantial drug and alcohol use. If I was giving a lecture and I was fed my lines, I would think of it as cognitive deficit. Yeah, no, exactly. And he's also saying that he has no idea how actors work, but he was up there giving a TED Talk, also not mentioning the fact that there's probably a teleprompter there for his speech or his lecture, or he'd have little cue cards or anything to refresh his memory on the fly. He wouldn't, even though I don't doubt that he could probably just go off on a rant for 2 hours and just, be waving his arms around his head, also ranting and raving about the fucking billionaires. But he said that it sounded unusual. But also, yeah, the whole earpiece on Pirates 5, it wasn't just only playing, it was active for a long period of time, not the entire time, right? And it wasn't only feeding Johnny Depp lines. It was also playing music. He didn't know that. He wasn't told that. Oh, sorry, what? So you're basing some of your opinions on what you've been told? Who's telling you that stuff? Probably should have clarified that. And also, yeah, he was talking about the picture, the one where Johnny Depp is passed out, allegedly passed out, or sleeping, and he has ice cream just pouring all over him, and it's a terribly staged, a terribly tragic sight, right? But Spiegel here said that, that was vomit all over him. That's what he was told. He didn't actually look at the picture. This motherfucker right here. But again, also saying that I have no idea how acting works or anything like that. Dennison shot back, do you know whether Marlon Brando used an earpiece? Marlon Brando. That motherfucker right there. Marlon Brando used an earpiece a couple of times. He was in a bunch of different films, okay? The motherfucker was great all the way to the end, except Island of Dr. Moreau. Actually, he was probably fine in that. It was just, the size that they needed a flatbed trailer to get him to set or anything like that. But Spiegel was like, that motherfucker's dead. It's like, I don't know if that necessarily answers the question or not. Other actors use earpieces? He'd be dead. Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, what's going to be in the headlines probably by the time this video gets published? He can say definitively, right? Amber Heard, okay, exhibits the characteristics of battered wife syndrome. But you remember, he didn't review any of the documents, okay? He wasn't assigned to this case in order to perform an analysis on Amber Heard, okay? But he looked at all the documents as well, and he came to the conclusion of the other paid experts on Amber Heard's side that she suffers from a form of PTSD. Therefore, she exhibits battered wife syndrome, okay? Because not all victims are perfect. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Then you got this bitch, okay? Kathryn Arnold, okay? I worked in Hollywood, and some of the biggest pictures that I ever worked on, it was Batman and Rain Man and Tango and Cash. A bit of a fucking drop-off in films that haven't been relevant since, like, fucking 40 years ago. What the hell is wrong with you? And then outside of that, she's the Hollywood expert in defamations and losses and all that kind of dumb shit. But she's also self-avowed professional witness. And it showed because, hey man, she was working hard for that money. And I don't know if it convinced anybody, but she was definitely putting in the man hours. We can go ahead and say that. She was making some assumptions that, somehow Johnny Depp was the cause of his own downfall, even though he was working consistently in 2017 and in 2018. And then after the Washington Post op-ed got released, but there was another article released at the same time in the exact same day for Rolling Stone that also made some allegations as well. But there's never any, behind-the-scenes correspondence between journalists, especially between the Washington Post and Rolling Stone magazine. Never happens at all whatsoever. Not a coordinated attack, okay? And another thing ripped straight from some of the hit pieces that's out there. Well, nobody knew about that op-ed at the time, okay? It was nothing, okay? It was all incidental that everything started to crumble around Johnny Depp, okay? Nobody was even paying attention to the Washington fucking Post, okay? After Amber Heard, who was going to be in, their words, once again, I thought this was a slip-up, right, on the video deposition from Amber Heard's agent, okay, that Aquaman was the biggest film to have ever existed, literally ever, the highest-grossing film ever. I thought it was a slip when she would say, no, it was DC or something like that, right, just the biggest film for DC, which it actually is, which is fucked up, okay, it made $1.1 billion, even though it rated and it reviewed like absolute dog shit, okay, and this wasn't like Rotten Tomatoes Brigade or anything. This was legitimate reviewers, at least the ones that they would find credible, right? Saying that Amber Heard's performance was that of a cardboard cutout, and so many more fantastical analogies. She was not at all substantive to the success of Aquaman, okay? Do you even know the name of her character, okay? Did you even know that she was in Aquaman before this trial happened? Did anybody see Aquaman? I didn't, okay? But then again, I'm not exactly, a prototypical person. I checked out a fucking regular Hollywood a long fucking time ago, but based on some of the testimony and on the cross-examination, kind of looks like Kathryn Arnold did a long time ago as well. But according to her, okay, because they need, so far, right, because Heard's team filed a counterclaim, okay, $100 million counterclaim that the statements from Adam Waldman at the time cost her $100 million, which is buck fucking wild. It was it for the longest time stood as the most fantastical claim outside of what Kathryn Arnold said, okay? She's an entertainment industry consultant and professional expert witness. Her words, not mine. Told jurors that Amber Heard lost between $45 and $50 million in potential work over Johnny Depp's claims that she fabricated her abuse allegations. Huh? Her highest paid wage at the time is for Aquaman 2, which, like it or not, she's still been paid for, okay? And that ends that contract, okay, with Warner Brothers. We're going to be hearing more about them here in a minute, but that was at the end of a 3-picture deal. Okay, she got paid $2 million, but somehow, all of a sudden, she could have been due $50 million at the top end of this stuff because of everything that she lost. Her work stopped, Arnold said. Well, actually, she just filmed something, okay? It's in the can, okay? It's not like motherfuckers were knocking down the door for her to begin with, okay? Johnny Depp was controlling her career. During the time that they were together in private and in public, she had the most work ever. So that whole, kept woman controlling the career, the blossoming career of Amber Heard. Okay, Johnny Depp was responsible for, not making her the star that her talents definitely could have took her to be. No, yeah. But yet she just topped out with $2 million. And if it wasn't for those counterclaims several years later, she could have kept on working, even though the original Aquaman came out a couple days after the Washington Post op-ed, which was probably used off the back of her, the peak of her fame, okay, at the time, posting that op-ed. Definitely not coordinated or anything like that. No, whatsoever. But anyways, yes, her work stopped, Arnold said, adding that rather than having negotiating power for the upcoming Aquaman 2, Heard was begging not to be cut out of the film. No, it was contracted. You get $2 million, you can be in the film. If things change all the time. Arnold compared Heard's trajectory to other celebrities like, get this one, Gal Gadot. Okay, that seems like very comparable. Ana de Armas, who's that? Exactly. And Zendaya. Oh, no, not just those, okay? And again, the wonderful cross-examination here by Wayne Dennison was terrific, ripping down all three. And there was also a couple more comparables as well. Jason Momoa, the lead in Aquaman, okay? Also a comparable that she used on this one. And then when they ran down the career accolades of all of the different comparables, it was fucking hilarious. And it just really made Amber Heard properly characterized for the first time in a long time. But yes, Ana de Armas, Zendaya, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, and Chris Pine. Because remember, okay, here, theoretically, in the DCEU, okay, Chris Pine could have been a nice comparable, okay, because he was the co-star in Wonder Woman, okay, Gal Gadot was the star, so comparing Amber Heard to Gal Gadot is fucking hilarious, okay. Honestly, if we're gonna do an apples-to-apples comparison there, Gal Gadot 1,000 times hotter, okay, even at both of their peaks, okay. Gal Gadot's career before landing Wonder Woman, she was in multiple Fast and Furious movies, okay? She was already in the DCEU since Batman v Superman, Rise of whatever the fucking retarded shit that was, okay? All of those DCE films suck dick, but she presaged Amber Heard's appearance, okay, by at least one movie, okay? That's not a comparable, honestly. The fact that she's had a career for a very long time. Ana de Armas, okay? Kathryn Arnold said that her Star is Born moment, her breakout moment was Blade Runner 2049, where she had the role of being an AI, a very attractive AI, but it was a bit part in a movie that flopped tremendously. Don't mention the fact that she went on to be in, James Bond or anything like that. And very, very good comparable. And then Zendaya, who is probably stuck in Amber's craw and then the defense's craw as well. She's 10 years younger than Amber Heard. Has been on the Disney Channel since she was 13 fucking years old. Is famous enough to be referred to by one name, like Cher, Madonna, Prince. Yeah, exactly. Obviously a decent comparable, okay? But yeah, no. They were picking all of these people because they've been in superhero films. I'm not too sure which one Ana de Armas was in. I don't know who this bitch is, okay? And yeah, Chris Pine. Chris Pine, who starred in like 2009 in Star Trek reboot, okay? The J.J. Abrams. Your quality may vary, but regardless, it was a big deal at the time. He was James T. Kirk in the reboot, okay? And he's Chris fucking Pine, okay? People know who that is. Jason Momoa has been in Hollywood, okay, in varying parts since 1999. Fucking Baywatch. 44 episodes of Baywatch he did, okay? He was on Game of fucking Thrones, the last massive television show that was out there, okay? These aren't comparables, but that's what she's saying, okay? And that's what this expert is basing the fact that Amber Heard, yeah, man, losing $45 to $50 million because everybody who's ever been in a superhero film, at least the comparables that she looked at, their career trajectories, they just took right off afterwards. Don't mention the fact that, hey, there are, 30 different superhero films just in Marvel, okay? But I know, oh my god, the Amber Heard's in the DCEU. Yeah, Zendaya's in fucking Spider-Man, okay? So if you're picking from both pools, okay, who was number 2 in Ant-Man, okay? What's the comparable there? Natalie Portman. She was in the first Thor. Now she's going to be female Thor. But what about those, couple of Thor movies in the middle? She was nowhere in those. Could have made that comparison. Okay, had to go away for a little while. But she was making up fucking fantastical claims. None of which could have possibly held any water, especially with Dennison just absolutely ripping her comparatives apart. You thought that Amber Heard's career trajectory was going to follow that of some of the biggest names in Hollywood? Off the back of what? What's Amber Heard's prior resume? Oh, she was on a TV show, and enough about that fucking nonsense that The Stand was a TV show. It was a mini series, always going to be 9 episodes. Oh, she got paid $200,000. So that means at the end of that, for every potential TV show oh my god, everybody wanted to work with her if it wasn't for all of this hubbub, okay, in the media. Oh my god, she was definitely going to be getting $1 million per episode because some people have got $1 million per episode before. Boof, fucking nuts, okay? Oh, but she lost out on all of these different sponsorship deals that are out there. Okay, cool. Like the one with L'Oreal, which got extended. Oh, she's on a stay. She can come back after all of this stuff is piped down. That's why they just extended it. But they aren't using her. They probably have a lot of people under contract that they aren't using actively in all of their fucking campaigns. Let's be honest here, stupid. But again, she doesn't know any of that, okay? And her assumption that, oh yeah, Amber Heard during this time period, okay, since all of the allegations came out, and then this 5-year window is what she's alleging, okay, from 2020 when the first lawsuit came out against her, okay, when Adam Waldman made these statements, okay, 5 years between now And 2025, okay, she stands to lose $45 to $50 million because every film is going to be as successful as the biggest film of all time, right? Aquaman. Once again, another piece of direct testimony from Kathryn Arnold there. I've just about forgot her name because she's so inconsequential and so misleading to everybody who is listening, okay? Oh, Aquaman, one of the biggest films of all time. Definitely the biggest DCEU film, okay? Which is actually true, okay? But yeah, no, it's definite. If it's not the highest grossing film of all time, it is definitely in the top 10. Definitely, 100%. Let's just run down, okay? Just off of sheer numbers, okay? And I can't believe it's Avatar. That movie sucks a billion dicks, okay? But why didn't you also, like, okay, Avatar, highest grossing film of all time, $2 billion, $2.7 billion, okay? Why didn't Sam Worthington's career take off? He was also in, what, The Hurt Locker? He did a couple of other things, but yeah, no, I think he's probably going to be back for the second Avatar. Nobody's really heard of him, and he was in the biggest film of all time. Why didn't you use him as a comparable? You're not opposed to comparing males and females together. Oh, well, it doesn't work. Titanic, okay. Star Wars, okay. Jurassic World, okay. Avengers, oh, superhero movie, right? And everybody in that film took off, right? Yeah, every single person that's in it. That's why they had to recast the Hulk, right? Anyways, Fast and Furious 7. Oh, yes, Gal Gadot was in that one. Pretty sure she was in 7. I'm not entirely sure. Avengers, okay, top 10. We got Frozen, Iron Man. Oh, no, Minions. Oh, okay, cool. 11, 12. A lot of superhero films. A lot of Disney films. Okay, Fast and Furious. Okay, again. Okay, we're getting top 20, 21. Oh, there it is. 22. Definitely in the top 10 though. Made $1.1 billion. Okay, and how many films? Okay. So Spider-Man came out just before the pandemic, right? You know what else you're not seeing? And she thinks that, oh yeah, no, fees for actors just continue to go up as films become more and more successful of all time. And Amber's going to be missing out on this exponential growth year over year, and that her current, if everything would have stayed the same, okay, her asking rate, her normal fee would have been $4 million for every role. That's how she came to that conclusion, that $50 million has just been lost by Amber Heard. Okay, right, and Johnny Depp, who made a bunch of different films after the accusations came out, okay, not the Post article, okay, that was after the DVTRO to begin with, okay, he made a bunch of different films of various different fees that he charged, $1 million all the way up to $22.5 million for Pirates 6. Oh, but there was no contract for that. Okay, cool. It's fine to characterize that for Johnny Depp. It's fine to put that on one side, okay, when you're discussing Depp, even though you're supposed to be analyzing both sides of this. But Amber Heard, all of these expected losses, yeah, people were just knocking down the door for her beforehand. So that's why we can get to $50 million. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do, okay? Because like I said at the beginning, they haven't rested their case yet, but they probably should. And they probably will in the morning. Maybe they might call another expert or something just because they know that they're going to be spinning out the different articles, okay? And to be fair, they're running out of time. So this kind of plays into the narrative that, oh, okay, cool. Oh, this evil judge and the entire system is against us because now they're just not letting us go back and they're not letting us call another witness. That definitely, that would have solidified our case. Okay, we can't cross anybody, okay, even though the judge can give them a couple of minutes to just ask a couple of questions on cross, and that's totally up to her discretion. Or if she has the hard clock, listen, everybody got the same amount of time. You fucked up. You wasted all of your fucking time today. 4 hours, okay? They have 4 hours and change to run the rest of their week, with the exception of Friday for closing arguments. That's a different counter altogether. 2 hours and do your shit then. But you got 4 hours for the rest of the week. It's going to be brutal, dude. Especially if you keep calling people of this quality. And then you take a look at the rebuttal witness list and it's growing. And it's fucking tremendous, because guess who's going to be verified? Okay, this is also, yeah, once again, running it back from Shanley Painter, okay, but this is Depp's side, okay, and they seem to be pretty much on the up and up. Kate fucking Moss is going to be video testifying, okay, via video link, not a deposition, live, as best as you can. They've done this multiple times for some of Depp's witnesses, okay, Travis McGivern and Malcolm Connolly, they both testified via video link, and also Depp's agent Wiggum, I forget his first name, but they all testified via video link. So it's nice once again that, people are setting aside some time in order to share or to come in via video link. Okay. Now Kate Moss will, as it's noted right there, Wednesday, expect to see a supermodel testify, and hopefully she dresses incredibly well. Okay. Because she still looks pretty good. Okay. And that'll just make Ellen Barkin big fucking mad because, she was still so pissed off for the fact that Johnny Depp wanted to keep their relationship sexual, but not actually be a relationship of any emotional capacity. But him and Kate Moss were verified in the media at the time. This was way before I was even cognizant of what was going on. This was like the late 90s or something. Okay, I was still of single digit age, but she's gonna come, and she's only ever said kind things about Johnny Depp and their time together. Okay, that was a story. Okay, him pushing her down the stairs. Okay, that was a media fabrication at the time. She's gonna attest to that. Okay, because hey, she fucking Amber Heard kicked open the door by saying, "Oh my God, Johnny was gonna push Whitney down the stairs," and all I could think of was Kate Moss. And guess what? Johnny's legal team was like, "Okay, somebody get in touch with Kate Moss, see if she'll do a video link up," and she's going to be there Wednesday. We already know Jennifer Howell. That one's been confirmed as well. But who else is going to be showing up? Who else is likely to be showing up? Well, she's got the inside scoop from Johnny Depp's team, so we'll take a look. Dr. Richard Shaw could be there in person. Okay. Kimberly Collins, a forensic pathologist. Check to see, just run back the testimony of Amber Heard. Okay. Does she seem a little bit pathological? Could be hearing from that. That'll be fun. Candy Davidson Goldbrun, a deposition representative from the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. Remember how Amber pledged all that money? Yeah. What exactly can you buy with a pledge? Nothing. All right then. Depp's team could also call Morgan Knight, witness of the Hicksville incident. That's the trailer incident. Remember when everybody was sitting around in a circle high on MDMA, mushrooms, drinking a whole bunch of red wine and all that fun shit, where also the cavity search in the trailer happened? How about somebody else who's there, who isn't, a relative or a friend of Amber Heard, to give the other side of the story? Because Johnny's told his side, which, hey, it could use some corroboration. Looks like Morgan Knight could provide that. She could be there in person as well. Dr. David A. Culber, hand doctor of Mr. Depp. Oh, cool. Maybe he actually got the correct information about the situation, or at least what Mr. Depp alleges. But, what about his fingernail? Fuck off. See, this one could be tough. Okay. Brian Neumeister, metadata expert. Amber Heard's side didn't turn over all the metadata of the different pictures that have been provided. And that's interesting. That's very interesting because of several of the incidences that happened, okay? Or to have alleged to have happened, where the pictures have been taken by Amber Heard or Josh Drew or Rocky Pennington, somebody, okay? A lot of those were either staged or altered or changed, okay? Some of the injury photos that we've seen there, some of the wine spilling photos, if they get a metadata expert in there to take a look at the metadata to see if any of those pictures have been altered in any form or fashion, that's going to be fun as fuck, okay? Morgan Tremaine, should I know that name? I have no idea. And Lydia Flip, okay, the flight attendant. Oh fuck, the one who Amber Heard alleges Johnny Depp grabbed her hand and said, "Do you know how much pressure it takes to break a wrist?" Oh God. Today was pretty good when it came to cross-examination of witnesses, but oh God, if that happens though, oh my God, that would be fun. And yes, of course, obviously, Dr. Shannon Curry, I'm pretty sure, Dr. Muffins, right? Just to refute these quack psychologists and psychiatrists that Amber Heard is called, okay, that have said, "Oh yeah, Dr. Curry had no idea what she was doing, and obviously she has no idea how to run her practice. Discount her 15 years in the biz." No mind though, we're on the up and up. Okay, cool. She's definitely going to get called. And you know who else is going to get called as well? Just because there were all of those insane accusations that, Warner Brothers and Aquaman, oh man, we really would have been able to renegotiate, and they were just begging to work with us. A discount to the fact that Jason Momoa had like no chemistry at all and had nothing great to say about Amber Heard throughout every single fucking step, even before all of these accusations were made, and that nobody had anything nice to say about Heard at any fucking film set. Yeah, don't don't trust your lying eyes, okay? Don't fall into the Goldwater effect, this motherfucker. But who's this dude? This is the head of Warner Brothers. He's going to be testifying some form or fashion on Wednesday. What is he going to be talking about? Heading into its final days, Johnny Depp's $50 million defamation trial against Amber Heard is about to get both a Hollywood heavyweight and a supermodel cameo of sorts. Warner Brothers' Walter Hamada will take the stand virtually Tuesday, tomorrow, as a rebuttal witness for the fired Fantastic Beasts star. We've learned the Warner Brothers picture executive testimony comes from a March 15th video deposition, which will be shown in a Virginia courtroom, where the bitter legal battle between the former Rum Diary co-stars takes place. Yeah, you know what he's going to be talking about? How Warner Brothers didn't want to work with Amber Heard before. They were going to provide a written letter, okay, a written statement from the company for Johnny Depp that Amber Heard was a piece of shit to work with, and they had no intentions of negotiating with her. They had no intentions of renewing or extending any existing contracts. Okay, they just wanted to be fucking done and dusted with her. There was nothing there anymore. They signed her for a 3-picture deal. They fulfilled that 3-picture deal. Move on with your life, okay? And if they're going to be playing his video deposition, and that's actually in there, that's the motherfucker who's making the decisions, having first-hand information of first-hand information of this. They play that, and he makes those assumptions and those assertions. Yeah, it's going to be lights out for any of those damages claims if they weren't so farcical to begin with. So that's what we can expect for the rest of the week. Don't know necessarily if Amber's side's going to be calling anybody else, but really, dude, they're running out of time. And again, Depp's side spent, I think, a couple of hours. They still have like 15 fucking hours, okay? On the high end, like close to 16 hours time, okay? And they were just, I don't know, going to plan a big Q&A session for Thursday because, dude, they're just going to have time to spend, and they can go into every single thing that they possibly want to. Hell, they might even call Johnny Depp, you know, try to fulfill a promise that Amber Heard's team leaked. But again, Johnny being a man of his word and a man of the people wants to give the people what they want. So with all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.